Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? Great to see so many of you here tonight, tuning back in. We had our best show last week. I think we're nearly 5,700 views, so thank you, everyone. So remember, tonight it is your duty as hairdressers to like, love and share this show. It is going off big time. Everybody's talking about it. I've had so many people reaching out and just so many good comments coming in. I'm just looking at these down on my screen in front of me, and brilliant. Great to see you. Colette's there. Hi Colette, lovely to see you. So I'm Dom Lahane. If you're not aware who I am, yes, I am that man behind the podcast as well, How to Cut It, and we are so excited that we've been bringing you the hair show now, number 10. Can you believe it? 10 in, and it's just flown by, and we've loved every bit of it and seeing this show grow. Now, if you're new to the hair show tonight, what the heck is this all about? Well, this is your Facebook Live show that is dedicated to the world of hairdressing, okay? And we talk everything hair. We've come together to share, talk ideas through. So if you've got something that you would like us to bring to the conversation tonight, then keep them coming in, because I'm already seeing some great comments coming in. So you push the conversations, and we are going to be covering it as we go through the night. We're going to be flagging up them comments onto the screen, as I've already seen so many too. There are many regulars coming on to the show as well. But before I bring on my regular host to the show, what's coming up tonight? Well, let's have a look. So coming up on tonight's show, I think we can hear Babino in the background there. So on tonight's The Hair Show, well, first up we have World Hair News with Jordanna Cabela, as Jordanna's been picking out her stories that's been catching her eye. Then we have How To, a debut from Lydia Wolf. Rock Up and Share, she's back for her second one. Amy Senior. Brekki with Belle, she's going to be answering your questions. Any advice on motherhood, she's there to share that with you as well, with Georgia Belle on there. I can see what's going on in the background. Everybody, you would love it. Honestly, it's quality. Masters at Work, Robert Masciave, he's on. It's a wicked one. Really excited to have Robert on. Then we have Mindful Mondays with Jordanna Cabela and Amanda. And Jordanna will tell you her surname because I didn't have that beforehand. So, and as I said already, we got live conversations coming your way. Mega excited about this tonight. And I'm going to now just bring in my two lovely hosts. So welcome to the show, Georgia Bell and Jordanna Cabela. There we are. How you doing, ladies? Let's turn that off. What was just going on there, George?
There was just a slight few childcare issues there, but we sorted it really quickly, so don't worry about that. So I'm ever so sorry about any background noise that you might have experienced.
It was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. There was just absolute chaos. It was like this child just came running in from nowhere there. But yeah, massive. How are you then, Jordanna? How's things?
Yeah, really good, thanks. I've discovered my first bout of migraines, but apart from that, everything's okay. Still plodding along. I'm loving doing a lot of hair and not too much admin at the moment, so it's been good.
Yeah, no, it's great. Well, look, tonight we've got so much to talk about, and I'm just seeing so many regular faces there. Sinead, my week's been good. Done my first shag cut today. Still plenty of room for improvement, but really enjoyed doing that shag cut. Come on then, George. What have you done? Many shag cuts?
Well, I actually thought she wrote something else there. I was like, steady on tonight.
We'll save that for Brekki with Belle.
I read the post properly. No, do you know what? We've had a few shag cuts come in. Really nice, actually. I think it's to do with people growing out their cuts, and they've got a little bit more length, and they're wanting to experience something a little bit more textured, a little bit more mullety. So yeah, it's all coming back like it always does.
70s is a big comeback, because I'm doing a lot of 70s layers on like really long hair, and pulling it forward and dragging it back. So it's got like a really nice 70s comeback at the moment.
Yeah, and a lot of people are wanting the Jennifer Aniston, like bring back the Friends, the old 90s. They want that layered around the face. They're like saying Jennifer Aniston. So I'm getting a lot of, I was a lot of one length last year, I think.
Yeah.
Sharp, super sharp, one length cuts, and now people are wanting that texture, that movement. They just must have missed it with being in lockdown,
Well, we're
Yeah.
going to go into that actually a lot tonight. Actually, we're going to talk, a little bit about hair trends, what's been coming back into your salon. I'd love to hear that. So that'll be a great conversation. I just flagged up Emma Fitzpatrick. Hiya, Emma. You're on the bus. She's having to lip read us tonight. I saw this comment, by the way, Jordanna. I'm just going to bring this up. It come in from Shelley Pearson. Have you heard that Salon International is going ahead, but not heard much about it from other hairdressers? Wondered what everyone's thoughts are on this going on this year. Do you know anything on this, Jordana? Maybe if
Yes,
Jane
I
Lewis
did.
is watching, she could answer that.
And we should be going ahead. So far we are, but I don't know if it's going to be safe closer to the time to do so. And I'm sure there are going to be loads of new like COVID friendly policies where we have staggered entrance arrivals, and we'll probably have to wear masks and really keep our distance, which I think is going to be quite hard, but I'm sure they'll find a way around it.
Cool. Well, we're going to be talking lots of things. I just want to bring up just a couple of colours. I don't think you girls said it, but I saw these on the Facebook group, How to Cut It Hairdressing Community, and it was all bright colours. Becky Sutherland, there's a beautiful bright green. Then we had one from Heather Mackenzie, and then we had this beautiful blue. I've just got to flag this up as well. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? And and that came from McCoy Hair Company. So keep uploading that work, guys, to the How to Cut It Hairdressing Community. And if you're not a member of that group, get onto it. It's a fantastic group. Got so much happening on there. It's been really good to see that evolve over the last few weeks. And just to remind you all, like, share, love, get this out there. And remember, there is a 20-second delay of what you're hearing from me, and likewise your comments coming in. So don't think we're ignoring you. It's just that little bit of a time delay that we do have. So as we have every week, I know many of you really enjoy just getting the world hair news. Is where Jordanna Cabela, she just picks out things that sort of grabbed her attention. So we're going to go into this week's world hair news with Jordanna Cabela.
Welcome back to the World of Hair News, episode number 10. Now, for news story 1, with the pressing question of what style to opt for in the salon, many opt for a drastic change, a new colour or a fringe to offset the past few long and very boring months, and others sticking to what they know. But many people are doing one thing differently, opting for the safety cut. The safety cut is a term specifically for this moment in time amidst the ongoing uncertainty of the current situation, to describe the shorter than usual chop that women are opting for just to be on the safe side in case of another lockdown. Finally, time for precision cutters to make a comeback and take the forefront of hair trends for all the technical cutters out there. Now for news story number 2, a museum with a difference. South Shields Museum is asking people to provide before and after photographs as well as hair clippings. Among the museum's existing collection of hair clippings are plaits that once belonged to the author Catherine Cookson. Adam Bell, the assistant keeper of social history, said donations would form part of the museum's pandemic collection and used in future displays documenting life amid the outbreak. He adds, we've been collecting materials that might be considered the usual suspects, such as rainbow pictures and items of PPE, but we want to represent the other things that people have been missing during the last 4 months, and that does include haircuts. For more info, contact South Shields Museum via their website. And for news story number 3, why are men allowed to get their beard trims, but we can't get our eyebrows waxed? This has left many beauticians and women fuming at the apparent sexism. The owners of KH Hair and Beauty have criticised the ministers for the way the situation has been handled. They say that removing unwanted facial hair for men but not for women poses no difference in the level of risk, particularly with the right PPE equipment. They urge the ministers to reconsider the gender inequality in the services allowed. And that's all from me today.
Some great stories there, Jordanna. I've got to come straight in on that very first one. Beard trims, no eyebrows. Come on then. How are your eyebrows looking underneath there, George?
I'm so desperate for my eyebrows done. I I actually can't wait. I think it's the 1st of August, isn't it, that we're allowed? But then again, you're allowed to have aesthetics as well at the moment, aren't you? So you're allowed to have your lip filler, you're allowed to have your Botox. You know,
I've got in a medical environment. So
really?
Not a beauty salon, only in a medical, like Harley Street. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, I'm just I can't wait to get those brows done. I've been saving them. I'm gonna have the biggest, bushiest, amazing brows around from the 1st of August, let me tell you.
Well, Sam's just said she needs her brows done desperately, so yeah.
But what is the difference? I don't get it, and I actually feel quite resentful when I'm trimming my gents' beards, because I'm like, why should you get your unwanted facial hair removed, but I can't? Because, you'll be standing the same distance away. The difference is you can keep your mask on to get your eyebrows waxed, but you can't keep your mask on to get your beard trimmed. So really doesn't make sense to me, but again.
Yeah, and Shelley's just put there, what's the difference between having a lip wax, chin wax, or a beard trim? Yeah, I guess barbers, what's the thoughts on that? Because I guess everything is about being in front of people's faces, isn't it? That's why it's not acceptable.
I think we're just in such an unsure time that I think it's going to take a couple of months for people to say, hang on, actually, this is okay. I think people are, government are making assumptions. They're saying you can do this, you can do that. And actually, in time, I think that will sort itself out. I don't think we've ever experienced anything like this. So, actually, they've perhaps not thought a beard trim is the same as an eyebrow wax, and they've just said no. Because they're a bloke.
And I'm interested, girls, in terms of like what everybody's sort of doing in the salon. How are you all noticing different requests coming in? So as Jordanna was just picking up there, that the safe cut, lasting the haircut to last, in case we're having a lockdown. I mean, what's the differences that you're starting to see, Jordanna, and in terms of clients coming into you right now?
Well, there are two differences. The first being that clients who probably have my length hair are a lot more brave to actually, go for the angular bob, but also any bob that's just below the jawline. And that is quite a commitment, because obviously it looks good there, but sometimes when it grows out, it gets to that awkward stage. And then the second thing I've noticed is all my long hair clients, who are so terrified normally of layers or forward graduation, have decided it's time to experiment and do sort of 70s layers around the face, and actually, wear their hair slightly differently. So I'm actually teaching a lot of clients like new styling techniques as well to go with their new layers. So I'm actually loving hair.
You've done a beautiful hairstyle. I saw it tonight actually on Instagram, Jordanna. It was that real 70s Charlie's Angels vibe.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, look.
It was a great model, though. She can pull it off.
Hey, don't talk down your work. So come on, everybody, let us know. What are you doing? What's the looks going in? And George, you were talking before we came on the show tonight about your colours, that you're noticing a bit of a different thing starting to happen.
Yeah, and cuts as well. I have to play devil's advocate here. A lot of people have grown that bit of length and they actually want to keep it. So people, even myself, like I'm attempting to grow a proper trailer trash mullet at the moment because I've got that little bit of length, and normally I'm a number one back and size. And all of my clients are the same. They're like, just keep a little bit of softness, keep a little bit of length. And yeah, colours are the same. I was always known for bright colour before lockdown, but then I moved towards much more natural colours. But I've had a lot of influx of bright colour coming through.
Yeah,
definitely.
I've got to say, I keep looking down here. If you keep seeing me grinning, it's just that I see comments coming in. You just make me laugh, you lot. So keep these comments. Fiona, everyone's blooming grey. They've all gone bonkers on Pinterest over lockdown. Grey. Everybody, how many of us are experienced the clients coming in? They're saying, I think I like my hair a little bit longer now. Is that something that we're all hearing?
Yeah. And another thing, Dom, as well, like what I said to you before, is actually there's a lot of natural grey coming through. So we did a lot of bleach jobs before, but now we've got 3 or 4 months of natural grey regrowth. So we've been doing a lot of highlights to blend that natural grey, which of course looks fantastic and it's going to last the client ages. But in terms of business, it isn't very good because they're going to probably cut 6 visits and off.
Yeah,
because we're blending that natural grey. So, Jesus, what are we going to do in terms of money?
Honestly, you lot, I can't keep up with your comments. They're brilliant. It's just here. Kai, nice to see you here, Kai, by the way. Great podcast with your mate last week. Lots of my clients loving their length, even the guys. Interesting, Jordanna. Are fellas starting to come away a bit from the skin fades?
Well, yes. There's a program on Amazon called This Is Us, and it's a 70s program. And it's based in the 70s. And there's some really nice long haircuts with like a little bit of a 70s tash. And I've noticed some of my gents kind of like showing me pictures of that. But I've also noticed some of my gents have come in with like a one layer all around because it's an outgrown shaved cut that they've done at home. So kind of mixture.
Yeah, and also, hi Lee, a big fan of the show, Lee. He's a real good one to have on board. We love having Lee here. Finding that clients aren't appreciating their root and tint imbalance might take a few goes to get back to perfect, but we want it right away. Is that true, Jordan? Are you with that?
Yeah, particularly when, you know, we're doing like a 743 or any kind of like copper-based roots. Yeah, it's going to take slightly differently towards like the top of the head because of the heat. So, like, even explaining that is not going to give you a get out of jail free card. It's been really hard to actually try and pre-warn them of some things that they need to be aware of because they just want to look amazing at the same price with, you know, the same amount of products. And it's just impossible because you've got so many bands to deal with, you know?
Yeah, brilliant. Well, look, great. Keep these comments coming in. This is what the show... We absolutely love this show, this interaction of live streaming. It really is so wicked, and you guys just make it. And I know Jordanna and George love to get these questions and comments coming in. You really are making it so special, this show. That's why we love doing this. But we've been talking about colour. Well, we're going to go into our very first bit of hair for tonight, and they're going to be making their debut. We're going to have the delightful Lydia Wolf in a how-to, and she's going to be giving us some colour work. So fancy a bit of hair? Give us a like, because we're going to be bringing you it. Here goes, Lydia Wolf. Yeah, great stuff. Lydia Wolf. I know we've been waiting for that. I think she submitted that rock up and that how-to about 2 weeks ago, and I think she's the partner, isn't she, of the eye candy for the girls? Is that Jack Mead? Is that right? I'm saying it. But that
I'm
was
not saying
so
nothing,
cool.
Dom.
You are sorry?
I'm not saying anything.
No, well, you said it all beforehand, but thank you so much for that, Lydia. It was. We're all feeling a bit naughty tonight. I think it's because we're on number 10, so naughtiness all the way. And you wait until we get to Brekki Wabel, which is coming up at any minute there. But that was a wicked colour actually there, Jordan. And I loved her mood board that she put in there. And I know when we done that Weller Colour Conversations event, and you were kind of talking about this sort of mood board, and you know, that's so inspirational.
Everyone knows I could talk about mood boards for hours, but I think it's a really nice way of combining everyday life and colour inspiration into your work, but also a really good communicative tool that doesn't necessarily, you know, rely on words that can be quite ambiguous. And I love putting, you know, food in my mood boards, like Cadbury's chocolate caramel. That's a lovely honey blonde that everyone refers to, biscuits, and it just ends up being a massive food mood board, which is annoying. But like it's I just think it's really nice to kind of link fashion, food, lifestyle.
Oh, you've turned into a Skype logo, by the way, Jordanna. You love doing this little bit. I think you do have a few issues with your Skype, which probably brings us on to a perfect point, doesn't it, George? Shall we head in to... there, you're back again, George. Get that Wi-Fi sorted out. Put some money in the coin machine or something there. But anyway, you all love it, and we love it. Is brekki with bells. So I'm going to let George introduce you to this, and we're going to have a little bit of brekki with bells. So over to you, George.
So without further ado, people, we are on episode number 10. It is brekki with bell. Remember, whatever you send to me, I absolutely love reading it, and it remains completely confidential, and you remain absolutely anonymous. Over to you, Dom.
Welcome to this week's episode of Brekki with Belle. Remember, whatever you send to me, darlings, you remain absolutely anonymous and your stories remain completely confidential. So, story number 1. What do you do if one of your staff members is sleeping with your clients and actually making it public knowledge? Oh, this is a tough one, but I have actually got a rule, never tap your payroll, and I think it's a good rule to follow. I actually experienced something quite similar to this a couple of years ago, and what I did was I phoned the NHF and I asked to speak to the legal team. I have to say the lawyer was quite taken aback, but they gave me some great advice. So, story number 2, I have a horrible boss constantly digging at the work that I create, even though I am the busiest in the salon. Oh, this is a tough one. Okay, so I would have liked you to define horrible a little bit better, but you know, sometimes if you are the busiest in the salon, I would always let your work speak for itself. I'd always look at your rebook rate. I'd let that speak for itself. Maybe there's a little bit of jealousy going on, but it depends in what way they're being horrible to you. But you know, if you are the busiest, keep going and keep smashing it. Now, the next one is a really interesting one. My boss is keeping my tips. Is that right? What the hell? Like, this reminds me of that restaurant that Gordon Ramsay went to see, Amy's Bakery. And in it was owned by 2 crazy people and they kept all the staff's tips. No, that is not right. If there is a tip for you, you should be keeping it, whether it's cash or card. I think what you need to do is you need to make a note of this, present it to your boss, and then if not, seek bloody legal advice because it's your tips, not the salon's. And finally, story number 4, I have a staff member that just does not listen to any techniques that I show her. I'm constantly taking time out, showing her new colouring techniques, and she just goes and does the thing anyway. Now listen, you have to be strict. Like, I don't know whether your staff member's self-employed or employed, but anyhow, you need to have a handbook and you need to sort of relay in that handbook what you expect from your staff. You need to have a contract. And actually, you know, if you are trying to push your own brand and you want your staff to a certain standard, unfortunately, they have to take on board your level of colouring and they have to take that on board. So I will be sitting down and calling a meeting because to me, I don't think that's acceptable.
I'm going to bring this one straight up, George. Daryl's put this in. Tap your payroll, laughter emoji.
What can I say? It's true,
Quality.
you know. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, babe. That's all I can say.
Honestly, have you experienced any of this? Actually,
yeah, that actually happened to me.
Wow. Okay.
It wasn't actually my story.
It wasn't you before you met David.
No.
Right. Okay.
It was somebody else's story, but that has actually happened to me, and I did actually have to contact the NHS because it's not a great thing, and it's actually not great having to phone the NHS and say that. Like, what do I do?
Not really. It could be a little bit of a shocker in there. And the other one actually was about being a brand, Jordanna. And I like what you shared there, George. And yeah, it's very difficult, isn't it, for a salon? Are you very on brand? Does everybody have to kind of meet the sort of look and taste level of what Cabela is all about?
No.
Right.
we embrace other people's background, because there are some hairdressers who are homegrown at Cabela, but there are also some that are Tony and Guy trained or Sassoon trained, and we embrace what they've got and their experience. So we don't actually try and varder them or make them cut in a certain way or use particular tools. And we feed that into the training, so we all learn off each other. And I think that's what's made us who we are. Don't get me wrong, we still have a style, beach waves, long hair, very natural, but I think it's really nice that, you attract. So a lot of my clients are, the type of hair that I do.
I love how you keep turning into a Skype logo, Jordanna. It's very,
Has
very
it happened
clever.
again?
It has, but that's okay. We'll kind of we'll drop you out and bring you back in. Oh, there you are. What do you actually operate on, Jordanna? Just out of interest, are you 5G or do you have
5G, yeah.
You see, 5G, can't rely on that. So, but that's interesting, isn't it, George? I mean, are you now self-employed, aren't you? The society.
So all of them are, and we do what Jordanna said. We welcome other people's experience, and we have a lot of show and tell nights in the salon. So it's not just me heading up a training night, telling them this is what I want done. Other members of staff actually take over and they show. But there is always a certain standard that we would expect from a photo, from social media, from a haircut, a style. There's always a standard that we wouldn't feature anything if it didn't meet what I wanted.
Yeah,
and the criteria of the salon.
Yeah, I've got to say, Jordanna, Lee's just giving you some tips here. Somebody get that girl a dongle to connect with. Lots of laughter. You're right there, Lee. Yeah, we're going to have a word with Jordanna about this connection service, honestly. Kai, back to your story. Not clients, but he married his model. Hey, that's okay. That's acceptable. You wouldn't have to phone at the NHBF on that one. The other one that I wanted to just pick up on was tips. I think this one's really interesting. Honestly, all of you guys and girls that are watching, do your stylists all take their own tips, or do some of you kind of work it out and sort of say half it down? And I'm going to put that question to you, Jordanna. Firstly, how do you work your tips? Honest.
Well, we only take our tips in cash, so we've got envelopes at the front reception, and we just literally write down the name of the stylist and only accept cash. Obviously, since COVID, it's been a bit different. We've had to put it through the books, which means they lose 20% of the VAT on it. But I had that chat with the staff in the briefing on the first day of opening, and it was just something we had to accept. So that's how we do it.
Yeah, Colette's just put there, George. Yep, absolutely theirs. You're all with that as well, aren't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would never ever dream of it. It just when I got that question in, it reminded me of that crazy cat lady on Gordon Ramsay who kept all of the people's tips, and I was like, she was mental. And I think actually, staff work hard. They should always have their own tips, Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll even accept it on a card, but of course they're going to have to deduct the 20%, and they're going to have to deduct the 0.9% card payment. So it's up to them, and that's the only thing I would deduct, because that's the only thing that's costing me.
And I've got to ask this question. I know it's a bit of a sensitive one, but are many of you just saying no cash? I mean, is cash kind of out the window, or are people still wanting to pay in cash, Jordanna?
We're accepting cash now, because for a while it just seemed a bit weird that you could pay in cash at Tesco but not pay in cash at the hairdressers. And also, if some clients want to give a stylist a tip personally, hand it to them, I'm not going to stop that. And, we've all been out of work for 4 months, so I think we should accept it if we want to. Yeah,
back to the tips, Lynn. Hi, Lynn. I share mine with the juniors, tips that she's talking about. I think that's
nice.
Yeah, I think that's quite a nice way. Back to the cash. Nicola, hi, Nicola. I'm taking cash. Colette, yeah. Yes, no cash. So yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it? Sam Tugwood, hey Sam, always lovely to see you. I have cash payments that just put in an envelope. So yeah, all got different opinions on that. Yeah, I'm taking cash, Nicola. Yeah, we all learn.
I'm taking cash and card, both.
Yeah, we put.
I'd say it's only 20% of clients now that are paying cash.
Yeah, my Chinese still all cash. Oh, you've turned into Skype again. Yep, Lee will ask you for that transition. Anyway, while you get yourself sorted out there, Jordanna, we are going to go into our first Masters at Work for tonight. Well, our only, but it's part 1 and part 2. So, and I'm delighted to have Robert Masciave coming on for this Masters at Work. Honestly, it is wicked. He's going to share a haircut using the Eblade, which is up for grabs tonight. So let's go into a Masters at Work with Robert Masciave.
Hi everyone, my name is Robert Masciave. We're on lockdown, it's midnight, and I thought why not do a haircut? I'm going to do it on a wig. For me, cutting hair, it's like, it's a form of expression, and I see it as sculpting, you know. But before that, the way I think about hair is, the way I think about doing haircuts is a bit like building a house, you know. You first have the foundation, then you have the architecture, and then you have the interior design. So that's the way it works. So the foundation is, you've got to understand the hair types you've got, the face shape, you know, so you make it really suited for the, you know, for the person. And then the architecture. The architecture is literally the techniques you use and how the shape that you're going to give, you know. That's an important part. And then at the end, the design is your character into it. You put the character of the haircut, and you want, you know, it's what people recognize your work, but also it's what enhances pictures of the person with details. Right? So I call that the ID characterization. Okay. The look that I've decided to do on this wig, a graduated bob. So far. Nothing special. We've seen plenty of them, but I'd like to put my signature on it. It's going to be really quite long at the front, so really short at the back, and I want it to be soft. So as you can see, I'm working the ergonomic way as well. So it's very important to design haircut for the client, but it's also very important to look after our posture and how we actually hold ourselves. Now, holding the scissors this way, this is the ergonomic and called the inverted grip. Okay, cutting it this way means that my shoulders, my body can remain straight. Okay, shoulders down, body straight, and I can create a good straight line. And this would be my baseline. So I start with the middle. Now, the advantage of this technique is that if you want to modify, because you see, you work with the hair, you work with a natural fiber. So the hair reacts differently with a different length. So if you see that at a certain length, you feel that actually you need to modify the structure slightly, you can do it at this stage because of the technique that I'm using. I'm using the Eblade. It's called the T800. The way you hold yourself is going to be very important. This is how you will keep balance. So this is the motions we're going to do, okay, in order to be really balanced as you work. So same thing, I'm lifting here.
Crikey. Weren't it thrilling? That music to it, my goodness, it was real drama in that. So thank you, Robert. That's part one. So we are, as he said in that, stay tuned. Such drama. I love the music. Did you enjoy that there, Jordanna, whilst you were sorting out your Wi-Fi? I think you're more stable now, hopefully.
Sorry about that, guys. I loved it, and I love the way he holds the scissors, because the Eblade has been made to sort of release less tension in your wrist. Particularly for precision cutting. He's a bit of a master, isn't he?
Sam,
she Ramsay make a meal.
Yeah, Sam's just said, I've never seen scissors like that, George.
He's amazing. I love the guy. He's so friendly and he's so open with his skill. I actually met him a couple of years ago at an event, and I didn't realise who he was, actually. That's really embarrassing. And I sat and talked to him all day, and then we made really good friends. And then I found out, looked at his background, and he's just a master, and he's amazing and so humble, which I think is so important.
Yeah, he's certainly impressed you. There's Becky. Hiya, Becky. Wow, she's just said. Really good. And the Eblade is up for grabs in this week's competition. How good is that? So we're going to be revealing that in a bit. And I love what he's doing. And Dan Thomas, big shout out to Dan, our producer. He's there in the comments, and he's putting in all the link forms. All right, that's for the competitions. If you want to submit your work for a future show, they're there. We say it every week. We're certainly looking for some TikToks as well. So any of you on TikToks putting some great stuff out, and Jordanna's gone wandering again. I'm giving up the fight with you on that, Jordanna. So we're just going to take her out for the moment, and we'll come back to her. So we're now going to keep the flavour of hair, all right? We've got some great stuff here tonight, and this lady coming up in the Rock Up and Share. And Rock Up and Share is where we invite you to showcase your work, share what you can do with hair, all right? Whether that's cutting, colouring, styling, whatever that may be. It's so easy. You could do this on your phone. Well, this week's Rock Up and Share, George, is Amy Senior, who's really come to the attention. She's appeared on the hair show, hasn't she, before, if I remember rightly?
Oh, she's been brilliant. I believe that she's an ambassador for Denman as well. She's just actually fantastic. Styling work is something else. Really lovely, bubbly girl. And, this is what the hair show's about, everyone. It's about celebrating, everyday hair, showing everyone's talent. So whatever it is, whatever you do that's a speciality, just get involved in it, because, Amy's done really well with this. I can't wait to see what she's got for us this evening.
So make her feel great, everyone, all right? Lots of love, likes and shares when we put this on. Let Facebook light up with you guys loving this show, all right? Here's Amy Senior, Rock Up and Share. Hey, that was mighty good there, Amy. Thank you so much for sharing that. Did you all enjoy that look? Love seeing the cutting and getting a real flavour of it. And Amy, honestly, just keeps bubbling up. So if you want to do a rock up and share, I can't say this enough. It is so easy to submit your work, all right? It really is that easy using the forms that Dan is putting. Click on it. And you just attach your file. And honestly, we put attention when you're getting so many views of shows, and you want to put an attention on your creativity. I mean, that's what's so good, isn't it, George? And, you know, putting attention on yourself in the industry and just step away from the salon floor and let yourself go a little bit in that side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. What can I say? Thank God for social media. You know, it's been able to put so many people out there. Amy's done quite a few things on the show. Every single look she's done is beautiful. I really love that colour. I love that shine line in the fringe. I think she's done an excellent job. And yeah, you know, whatever walk of life, whatever salon you're at, it can be village, it can be city, it can be a big name, it can be your own name. Just submit yourself, rock up and share, and show us what you can do. We really want to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we may have some news about Rock Up and Share and some other bits. I might give you a little bit of a taster as we go along, if you give us plenty of likes and loves and shares, all right? So we'll tease you in. How are we doing with that connection now, Jordanna? You're making me worry.
I think I'm back for good, and I hope I'm good.
There's a song there, isn't there? Is that
There's a song there.
Back for
I was
good.
just going to say that.
I'm suddenly expecting Gary Barlow to come piping in there. There's some surprise in the show, but yeah, it's good. Hey, Lynette's there. Hey, Lynette. I'm late. Can't wait to rewatch later. That's always the thing. And if you are watching this show on replay, then just put hashtag replay. We know that you're watching, and we can come in and answer your questions. But oh God, I'm loving all this. I'm loving this show. And did I see you say hi to Robert? Is Robert sort of having a little poke in tonight? Robert Eaton.
Rob Eaton, yeah. He's
Come
amazing.
on, Rob, say hello.
That's
We
nice.
love Robert Eaton, British hairdresser of the year, but he's such a wonderfully respected guy all round. And yeah, I've interviewed Robert.
And such a nice guy as well, can I add?
Robert, we need you to do a Masters at Work for us. How's that sound? We'll put you in the spot. So if you're watching, Robert, we'd love you to do that. So anyway, I'm feeling a little bit stressed out because of Jordanna's connection tonight. So if there's ever a time that I need a bit of Mindful Mondays, now is the time. I need a bit of well-being and not drinking all this caffeine, keeping me awake. So I'm going to hand the window reluctantly over to you, Jordanna, because you're going to introduce in Mindful Mondays. So over to you, Jordanna.
Well, I don't want to stress you guys out anymore. So without further ado, this week's Mindful Monday guest is the lovely Amanda from Nourish Healing, who I connected with on Instagram. Amanda is a natural health healer. Her therapies extend from Reiki healing to all sorts of wonderful things with aromatherapy oils. We had a great conversation, and here's a little bit of the chat that we had.
Nutrition is always a difficult one to talk about, but what I would say is just be a little bit more mindful about what you're eating, because food does have an effect on our mind. You know, if we're eating too much of the sugar, sort of too many cups of coffee, too much caffeine, that is going to have a negative effect, because what it does, it raises our blood sugar levels. So we might get that instant burst of energy, or that instant burst of sort of, oh, I'm awake, kind of zingy feeling. But then you come crashing and you actually end up feeling worse than you did to start with. So it's not helpful for your mental health to do that, because you're then almost looking for your next cup of coffee or the next sort of chocolate bar to keep you going. It sort of self-perpetuates.
Yeah.
So easy to do. But the more you can just be aware of that, you can really make easy sort of quick things from home, like a healthy smoothie, or sort of put some oats in the fridge with chopped up fruit the night before. So it's still grab and go, but you're actually fueling yourself, not only for your energy levels, but actually to sort of support your mental state as well. And a lot of people don't make that connection, but it does have a huge dramatic effect if we're putting the wrong things in the tank all the time. Balance, obviously, you know, we've got to have our chocolate and stuff like that, but it's just having that right proportion, really, so that you're thinking about not only that you're not hungry anymore, but that actually you're supporting your brain as well.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because I mean, I'm only 1 week in, but I can already feel the hairdresser's diet creeping back, which is just consists of caffeine, 1 glass of water if you're lucky, and the first trip to the toilet at 4 p.m. Never mind lunch.
No, I can imagine.
It's a hard one to get out of, but I tell you what, most hairdressers, since coming back from lockdown, have given themselves an extra 5-10 minutes per appointment to clean down each section. So I suppose that could be an opportunity to just grab a bag of nuts or whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, nuts, sort of fruit, a smoothie, something like that, that's just quick, but actually it's sort of nurturing you, from the inside out, which is you'll see the benefits. It just takes that little bit of a habit change, doesn't it?
That was really good. I think we all know it, hairdresser's diet. And George, are you going for your fish and chips after?
Well, yeah, do you know what? If it's not for my fish and chips on a Monday, I've actually got a bachelor's pasta and sauce noodle pot when I finish.
That is a very typical hairdresser's diet, isn't it? Come on, Jordanna. How religiously good are you with your diet, Jordanna?
I'm great for going out for my fresh air fag breaks.
We talked about this last week, didn't we?
Yeah. Do you know what? I absolutely love fruits. So I always have mango or strawberries or grapes, but I have to have a chocolate bar a day. I'm sorry, it's my thing. I need my chocolate. So, but Amanda is right. We have to think about what we can actually feed ourselves with in terms of like carbohydrates that take us through the day. But one thing we didn't mention in that snippet that we played is Amanda's amazing talent for aromatherapy oils and how to actually blend them and what use we can get out of them, where to put them on your feet and like to breathe them in at the start of the day or even to help you sleep with them. So she prescribes them to you and gives you exactly like the lowdown on how to use them. So I think that's really cool.
I'd be really interested in that, actually. I need that.
Yeah, I've been burning loads of aromatherapy oils around the salon just to make everyone relax. Like, I get in an hour early and I'm like, right, all the candles are on.
I've had 3 weeks of co-op BLT sandwiches, mate, and I need some aromatherapy oils in my life.
Hi, Raymond. Raymond said lots of water while working, guys. Absolutely. Get rid of the meal deals, Dom. You don't get to a physique like me without a bit of a meal deal. So I think there's some great advice there, certainly from Amanda. But I think it is, and we all know it, you have to keep those energy levels. And I certainly know when I am having one of them rare moments in my life that I'm being relatively good about my diet, and you just find if you balance it out and graze all day, actually, and not grazing on Snickers, of course, but when you're talking fruit and well-being, but it is so true. And I think now times are quite full on for us, aren't they, Jordanna? That it is one of the challenges that we've got to deal with, being busy and how we manage our energy throughout the day and be happy for our clients.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and I think once we can do that, and support each other as well, because one thing I'm finding that's different from reopening now is that people in my team are starting to really support each other, and we've kind of made a pact that this is going to be tough, so let's make sure that we've got each other's backs no matter what. And I think we've united more as a team than ever before, which is really
sorry, I'm just Nicola, my regular lunch is a bag of Whatsits, a twirl and a Diet Coke. Nicola, that is a proper hairdresser's diet. So listen to Amanda. Come on, Nicola, we've got to sort it out. And Lee, he's put it. I also drink 9 cans of Coke Zero a day to keep me going. Oh, honestly, we need Akin on here as well. He's a health god, isn't he? He's always looking super fit and healthy. So great advice, and I do really like these Mindful Mondays. And actually, guys and girls, if there are things in this show that you want to see more of, then let us know. And also mindful, hay fever. Does anybody else suffer badly hay fever? It kills me. I've even had the hay fever tablet. Do you get hay fever, George?
Yeah. And I'm just so scared to death that people think I've got COVID-19 while I'm sneezing and wiping my eyes in the salon. But I've suffered really badly with hay fever.
Yeah.
you know, and tiredness and everything else that every hairdresser in the world is suffering right now.
What
It's a
else have you
bloody
got at the
hard
moment?
job.
Earache? Did I maybe ear
Yeah,
infection
I've
right
got an
now?
ear infection at the moment. I feel like
my
I'm
God.
underwater, but I ain't
I
got
think
time to
someone
see
needs
them.
a trip to the doctor's, George.
I know, but I've got like loads of balayage to do, babe. So I've got to do that first. And I've
You
got
need to
loads
get
of
yourself a balayage client who's a doctor and just
Yeah.
kill two birds with one stone.
Oh,
That's it,
Colette's come
mate.
in with a good bit of local honey. Oh, I love a bit of honey as well.
Yeah, that's really good. I've heard that before,
Yeah,
actually. That can
local
cure.
honey. Samantha here, hummus on the go. That's really good, isn't it? Carrot sticks, hummus. I do quite like that as well, I have to be honest. Yeah, really good. So I'm going more for that than your diet at the moment, Lee. I think the girls are more on it than...
And if anyone's got anything for earache, just hit me up, slide into my DMs. 'Cause I need some help.
Yeah, Hannah's just given me some good advice. You need to try nasal spray. My hubby has it so bad, but it saved our marriage. That's good to hear. I think my wife would be happy to hear that as well. And watch your staff at the salon. Anyway, I have hay fever. Sorry, we're going a bit off track tonight, but we're on number 10 and I don't care. I have hay fever and asthma, and I have asthma cough, which scares people thinking it's a dreaded virus. Yet, now, before we go to next, that's something else, isn't it? You cannot sneeze or cough.
No.
I mean, the shock. Jordanna, has that happened where you've had the cough or somebody and you just... Everybody looks so suspiciously at you now,
I
don't they?
try and sort of cough inwards. You're like, and it just looks even worse. But sometimes I've actually seen some of my staff members run to the toilet to sneeze. I'm like, guys, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's not a COVID symptom.
And that's something else. Sorry, I'm on it tonight. It's because I've had some coffee. Sorry, Amanda. But actually, wearing the visors, we wear it, don't we, because of the droplets. And I don't mean to sound disgusting, but you do actually see how sometimes, or is this just me? And I'm going to feel really embarrassed that you get the droplets and maybe. But do you know what I mean? It does. Yeah. Anybody else experience
Yeah,
that?
but the thing with the virus, I just have to say, so like, if you sneeze or if you cough and you've got a visor, surely it goes down onto your client's head anyway. Really? So if you think about it, does it need to be a mask and a visor? What does it need to be?
Well, we went into that whole thing last week, and I don't think we could go there again. But I think I think I can live with the visor, but I think a mask and a visor. I know you do, Jordanna, don't you? But I don't know.
I've stopped that. Sorry, guys.
Well, you need a hole for the fag, don't you? For the
Yeah.
And also, guys, cutting. So, like your short haircuts, your precision cuts, you can't actually do them in a visor. You need a mask because you can't see your blend.
Kai's just come in here, by the way. I sneezed into my visor when I got in it. It was like a scene from Alien. Honestly, you bad lot. Honestly, you honestly, we're meant to be a professional show here, not going into this sort of carnage of sneezing into.
I do find myself wiping my visor like it wipes like a little windscreen from the inside out every couple of hours.
That's the thing you do. I've got my glasses one, and but that's quite hard. I'm cleaning it. I'm finding my eyes are going round as I'm cleaning it. Sort of trying
Well, they say, don't they? They say washing up liquid. If you wash it in washing up liquid, it'll put a film on there, so it doesn't steam up. However, if you are doing, like I said, your shortcuts, your precision cutting, any colour corrections where you've got a band of artificial colour with a virgin root, you've got to wear a mask because you can't see properly.
Yeah, right. Anyway, let's move back on. Let's get back to hair, okay? And we left part 1 of Masters at Work with Robert. Now, do you want to see that finish? Well, we're going to see this finish. It's beautiful. I love the whole look of it. It's going to really inspire you for the whole haircut thing that he's doing, but also I think it's going to inspire you to want to enter and win these amazing E-blades, because we're going to tell you how shortly. So here's the second part of Masters at Work with Robert Masciave.
This one I'm going to use a clipper to cut into it. A bit like a razor. I'm using it like a razor. That's to really give me the softness around the fringe area. It's like a growing out type of fringe. A mixture of scissor over comb and texturizing. So this is just like point cutting, but really quite deep. Okay, so we want this part to be really quite soft. Okay, and I'm going to work through this here as well. For this, you've got to have an understanding of what I call 3D shaping. Right? So it's creating a shape in space, okay? Like sculpting, exactly the same principle. It's really a fun and different way of working. It's really, when you work like this in the salon, also really, that's when the clients can really see you sculpting hair, you know, and it's people appreciate and seeing the shape coming together on them as well, and that's pretty powerful. You've got length, you've got this, really the shape, the structure around the back, but it's all very, very light, playful. The hair really responds when you touch it and stays in shape, which is really, really nice. That's it, that's the finished look.
Wow, that was, what a belting look. Absolutely. It's so, I can imagine so many of you ladies, maybe some of you lads maybe want that haircut, but it is a really gorgeous haircut, George.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying, going back to that really layered 75s, you know, we've got a really nice graduation there, layered cut, some nice bangs in the front. Beautiful.
Yeah, Colette, she says that shape is beautiful, Jordanna. Would you ever go for a shorter haircut? Would that be something you could ever head towards a look like that?
I don't know if I could pull it off just now, but I love the way when he cuts hair, like he said, it kind of just stays in position when he fluffs up the ends. Yeah. And I think that's all about the razor texture that he puts in, whereas I normally kind of cut precision and then spend about an hour like cutting into it, but that just looks so much easier and more fluid.
Yeah, well, Samantha here has said that she wants that tool. Well, let me tell you, Samantha, we're going to tell you how you can win that tool any minute too. We're going to just see a little video on that. But before we head into this, many of you may know who are regular to the show that we have a end of the month bundle, and we are there where we have got absolute shed loads of products that one person is going to walk away with tonight. Now, I'm making sure that this isn't going to flash up on the screen. So I'm going to hand this over to you, George, to announce the big winner of this person.
Oh my gosh.
Here goes
So
to you.
this is the second bundle that we've given away within the hair show, and tonight, it's the second one, and within it you are going to be winning the ProCare 24/7 full machine. You're going to be winning a load of Denman brushes, Joico, and also a year's subscription to Hairdressing Live, and the winner of this month's bundle is Callie Borg. So well done, Callie.
Yeah.
Without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Jordanna, and she's going to tell you about this week's prize.
So, guys, for the lucky winner who's going to be winning, not next week, but the week after, Monday the 10th of August, has got an Eblade that you have just seen in Robert Masciave's Masters at Work, coming to their doorstep for you to use and try out for yourself. So if you want a chance to win the Eblade, then just pop in, follow the link that Dan has commented on the links below, and all you have to do is give us your name, number and email address to enter.
Yeah, what a wicked video there. I could just see some of your comments just coming in while that was going on, that I think the link's not working. So don't panic. Dan will be on that. So Dan, sort that link out. I think it's not working there. But gosh, Robert, thank you so much, mate. Honestly, we have all really enjoyed your Masters at Work tonight, and putting that together for the show, as well as that incredible prize. How many of us want that Eblade? Just looks so cool, doesn't it, George? Have you ever used it out of interest or not?
Are we allowed to actually enter ourselves or not?
I don't know, can we?
Yeah.
We've got the forms at work.
Because I'll be entering with all my different names.
Yeah, exactly. No, it really, I mean, so cool. I'd love to learn more about that, Robert, as well. You know, how you've come about, creating this. Love the blades too. Looks great. A great video. I think you all recognise the train spotting. Iggy Pop moving it really cool. So I think we like that video.
It's so you can constantly cut with the Eastern grip, isn't it? I think that's the way the scissors are designed. So it's really cool. I want a pair of those.
Yeah, well, we do. So I think how it's going to be worked. So Dan was telling me, I think basically once we get the winner, which we will announce, we'll mention it in a minute, very soon, Robert is actually then going to email you and talk you through it as well. So gosh, you're going to get a real personal sort of prize there from Robert, and hopefully you can be cutting a beautiful bob just like you done there, Jordanna. And yeah, guys, honestly, girls, get into that rock up and share, please. I can't ask you enough to do that, and yeah, we want to see it. Now I'm going to say something to you all, and it's going to come as real sad news, all right? And you're going to have to brace yourself for this, but we're not going to be here next week, all right? We are going to be back in 2 weeks' time. And the reason we are going to be, just sort of build a bit of suspense. So, look, we get to number 10. So we're going to do this every 10 episodes. We're going to just have a break, Jordanna, George, aren't we? We will decide just to pause, reset. But when we do this, we want you to get in touch with us, right? Give us lots of great stuff. Give us some great ideas, Jordanna. I mean, I think you're going to be away anyway, aren't you, Jordanna, over the next couple of weeks? So we may not see you for about 2 weeks and more.
I'm leaving you.
No!
2 weeks only got.
How very dare you.
But listen, yeah, we want to get the feedback, so we're going to utilise the next week or so just to, regroup, refocus our energies on what you guys want to see and what's been really popular, because we've obviously got the viewing numbers as well. So any feedback, good or bad, just let us know, because this is your show. We'd love to know if you like the balance of, the Mindful Mondays, the Brekki with Bells, the balance of that along with the creative side, or do you want to see more creative work? Do we want more platforms? Just let us know.
What would you say, George, as well?
Well, do you know what, guys? If you want a bit more hairdressing talk, I'm your girl, so let me know. So if you need some more hairdressing horror stories, Brekki with Belle, salon problems, bitchiness, I'm here to help. And anything else that you might need as well. But yeah, we like to bring the we certainly like to bring the fun, don't we, alongside the serious stuff and the news, which I love. But, you know, like we've always said, it's your show, so just let us know what you want to see.
Yeah, brilliant. I think that's perfectly put. And just to remind you all, so all our videos, everything that you see, and we've got the longer format. So amazing guests who have done our hairdressing open talks, like Colette, who's here. Jordanna's disappeared again, but we may say just goodbye to you. I'll give you a second, Jordanna, to come back in. If not, we might just have to say goodbye to you a little bit sooner. But yeah, hairdressing open talks, videos are a bit longer. We've got our YouTube channel, How to Cut It. Go and find them and go and have a look, as well as George's hairdressing horror stories and Brekki Webel. They're all there, and we're there on all our social media. But also, Jordanna, George, we were talking about this, and I know Jordanna was out on the conversation the other night, but I'm going to give you rumblings to this, and I want to see what your reactions would be to this. You know where I'm going, don't you? We would like to do the hair show live. All right, we want to bring you a live event if the environment allows, maybe around Salon International weekend. So could this be something you would like? So we'll come out, we're going to film the event live, podcast, the whole lot, rock up and share, hairdressers open talks. If you want this, we're going to do it. It may start small. What do you reckon, Jordanna? Are we up for a bit of that?
Do you know what? I just want to see Lee. I want to see Colette. I want to see all the regular faces in the audience, and I want to actually discuss in person, because you can't beat it, can you? You just can't. I love this virtual world, but you know, I'm coming or going with this Wi-Fi. It's just nice to be in person, isn't it? And
I would be impressed if you kept disappearing on the stage in that sort of way. That would be very impressive. But George, you'd love that as well. I know you'd be.
Yeah, no, so we would love to. Like a bit of pie and peas around after the Excel, after a hard few days at Salon International. Let the hair show. Bring you a pint, a bag of chips, and let's all have a laugh and have a live.
I like it. So we're going to find a boozer again. I think we're going to do a boozer, a bit like we did in our early Hair Club Live days, but now we're going to kind of bring a whole show, live format, and maybe if you guys would like to be involved in that, then let us know. If it's something you want, if you give us lots of thumbs up and likes to it, that tells us that you want us to do it, and we want you to help us create that show. It would be amazing, and who knows, maybe a little tour as well. If sponsors definitely as well, we would seriously like your support for this as well. So we could actually get Jordanna a dongle, and I did say a dongle, as well as a decent sound setup. So come on, sponsors, this is the hottest show out there right now. We need your support, and our community of listeners want to grow with us, and we want them to grow with us. So yeah, we've got big things planned. So first up, Jordanna, thank you so much. We're going to miss you for the next 2 weeks or so, but keep us in the loop on what's going on. Where are you heading to? You going somewhere nice, did you say? Sorry.
I'm going back home to the homeland of Cyprus to lay flat, horizontal, and soak up some sun. I'll be bringing you the hair news, if they let me in, to be honest. I'll be bringing you the world of hair news virtually, so I'm going to pre-record all that for you, and I've still got Mindful Mondays to share with you, but this time they're going to be a bit shorter, snappier, and to the point.
Great, and we're going to get rid of you, and now I can breathe a little bit carefully, a bit better now. All right, lovely to see you, Jordanna.
Thanks,
say goodbye.
Guys. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye. And George, so you're going to have a breather. I think we're going to just get together, aren't we, over Zoom and plan some more stuff going forward with Dan.
Yeah, and other than that, I'm going to go to a chip out, and then I'm just working for another week flat. Can't wait.
Well, look, and I've got to just ask you, we didn't touch upon it just very quickly. How's things settled down for you?
No, things are great. You know what? Everyone's been super understanding. We are mega busy. I've just got to learn to say no a little bit, because it's getting a lot now. But I mean, I'm happy. We're busy, so it's great.
Good stuff. Well, lovely to see you, George, as always. I'm going to say goodbye to you, and I'm going to do the official farewell. So take care, George.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
There we have. So let me just put that one on there. Another week gone. Yeah, episode 10. It's been real laughter. I think this is what's been so great, and we've just seen so many of your comments here. Thank you, everyone who's just put comments in. Thank you, Colette, Lee, Sarah. So if I'm not going to flag up all your names, we've got Samantha. So that's kind of it. As I said, we've got so much more that we want to be bringing to you all, and I'm just going to give a little shout out as well. I hope that you all have the opportunity to listen to our podcast, the UK's #1 and Ireland's #1 hair industry podcast. I've been doing them for 3 years. I bring them out every Monday without fail. All right, and we have so many great guests. Last week was Kai, who's in the house tonight. But this week is a great one with Emil McMahon. He's come on to the show for the second time. So if retail's your thing and you actually want to learn how to actually retail without selling, this podcast for you. It's brilliant, such an enjoyable one, and we really go through Emil's don't sell, I think, book, which is great. So it's been great. Keep in touch, everybody. Keep the comments coming. Just let's go mental with this show. And as I say, get in touch with me if you want to just reach out. I'll give you my email now as well. It's info@howtocut.it. Get in touch with me. I'd love to hear from you, suggestions, and if you maybe want to be part of our live The Hair Show, yeah, let's hear from you. So we normally finish with TikToks. We're not tonight. We're going to be back in 2 weeks, so you better miss us, everyone. And we're going to be coming back bigger, better than ever before. So until next time, peace, love and smiles all the way. Goodbye.